Eddie, we should be out there snacking on bad guys.
It's showtime.
Everybody, it's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I'm back for another movie review. The movie that I'm reviewing for you today is Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage. It is directed by Andy Serkis. You may know him from Black Panther and Planet of the Apes. It is starring Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, Woody Harrelson, Naomi Harris, and Stephen Graham, among many, many others. It's classified as a sci-fi thriller adventure action. It clocks in at 1 hour and 37 minutes. And yes, there is a mid-credit scene. No post-credit scene, a mid-credit scene. The synopsis reads, Eddie Brock attempts to reignite his career by interviewing the serial killer Cletus Cassidy, who becomes the host of the symbiote Carnage and escapes prison after a failed execution. And that is all I'm going to say, because this is a spoiler-free review. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, you know what we do here. I watch movies so you don't have to. I tell you what I like, what I didn't like, and a little bit of everything in between. No spoilers, of course. And I recommend whether or not you know or go see it in theaters where it's exclusively racking up the big bucks in the box office. So yes, it is. It has set the record post-pandemic, well, not post-pandemic, during the pandemic, about bringing in $90.1 million in its first weekend domestic. Yes. Give them a round of applause for that. The box office is back, baby, and you see me with this big smile on my face. Because why? I love movies so much. Okay. So let's get into the good, shall we? The best thing for the movie, for me, is the relationship between Venom and Eddie. Also, Venom and every other character in this movie. Venom was it for me. It was Venom for me. It was this Venom for me. Whenever he was on screen, I laughed. One of the funniest scenes came early on after the inciting incident in the first act of when he's actually out there and he is actually covered up in these what is it, glow sticks or whatever. You may remember from the trailer, he was at a Halloween party, kind of like a rave type thing, and he had these glow sticks on, and he was just like, it was just too funny. It was,
that costume is amazing.
Thank you, one person. Thank you.
Too funny to me. I was cracking up. You hear me cracking up. So anyway, I don't know, like, was I drinking before I went to the book? Look, listen, I had a good time. I was laughing. All the jokes landed for me. I heard some people saying they was hit and miss. No, not for me. I really liked this particular movie. I found that Eddie Brock's character actually was on the back burner for this. And I felt like this movie was really about the relationships that Venom has through Eddie in some points, but Venom's own relationship with these people. So I just thought it was cute. I thought it was cute. His ego was on full display with this movie. And that's what I really like the most, because that's where his banter comes in. When he talks, he's talking from ego, and it's just so funny how he keeps bickering and just being, just just the banter is just like, is just, the timing is so good. Like, what he's saying is so witty. I was just so here for it. The bromance thing that they kind of touched on in one was on full display, played up to the nines in this one. So if that's what you liked about Venom 1, they actually went on ahead and turned it up a couple of notches. For the most part, I felt like the movie was an action rom-com. So Tom Hardy absolutely puts everything into this role. He gives 1000%. Him as Eddie Brock, him as Venom, love it. You can definitely tell that Andy Serkis expertise in mocap is in his direction behind the camera, with the action, the visual effects, the special effects and everything like that. The action scenes were very well lit. We could see everything. It wasn't like the first one. It wasn't all dark and it was just one action scene. I was surprised at how much money that movie made, but I think what it was is that element that kind of had you laughing. You know what I'm saying? It makes you enjoy it a little bit more. But you can see everything for this particular. That's the money shot. You see that? That was the money shot one. Carnage. Yes. I love that it was well lit. You could see everything except for the gore. Thanks to the PG-13 ratings. So anyway, kudos to Andy Serkis for the visual effects. We had some pretty entertaining scenes with Anne, who is Michelle Williams, his ex-girlfriend, and Mrs. Chen, the Asian lady that's in the store. Not gonna spoil it, but it was so much fun with Venom and what he did with them. So, all right. So we're gonna get to the bad. Okay. So the plot was super simple. It wasn't as simple as it seemed. Listen, let me explain. I feared that the story was way more complex and had a lot more meat on its bones, but I believe the script was complete. I believe it was. I don't think it was the script. I think it was a director's choice in the editing room. It was a director's choice, his choice of what he wanted to show and what he left on the cutting room floor. That definitely could be 30 minutes on the cutting room floor. This movie could have served much better to flesh out a lot of things that was kind of left like plot holes and just left abruptly, which I think is the main criticism from critics, is that the movie is very thin, and 20 more minutes would have served the movie. It would have been just shy under 2 hours, and it would have served the story so well to focus a little bit more on Carnage and focus on his relationship with Screech. I think her name is Barnes or something, like Francis or something like that. Focus on her. You know, she had these powers. Like, what's going on here? Like, you know, it just didn't make much sense. We're trying to figure out what's going on with the story, and you kind of just really don't know because it wasn't fleshed out. It was a director's choice to bam to keep it breakneck and keep it entertaining and fast paced, but on the end of that chopping block, you end up getting a thin story where people can poke a lot of holes, and you don't give anything that's substantial and something that really propels the franchise forward. And of course, people who are diehard fans of Carnage, that character in the comic books, you could ruffle them as well. So I think a lot of those types of elements could have contributed to kind of like the slight divisiveness of the movie. Yeah, like I said, his motivations, Carnage was not fleshed out. We don't know his motivations. I also wondered, like, if Carnage came from Venom, because he said that he was his father and all of this stuff, like symbiotic type wise. Why did he end up being a different breed? Because I remember in the first one he kept on saying, oh, you know, I'm just like a loser. I'm like low on the totem pole. And then he ends up having Carnage. And it's a red one. So I was just like, how does that happen? Like, you know, it's just like some things that just kind of make you wonder and stuff like that. So anyway, before I give you my overall thoughts on Venom, Let There Be Carnage, why don't you take a moment and follow my social media? It's right there. So overall, because I didn't have high expectations for Venom, Let There Be Carnage, because I had an entertaining time. I laughed more than I sat bored, more than what I rolled my eyes. I didn't roll my eyes much or whatever. There were some things that was kind of lingering in my mind, but I had a good time with the action. I had a good time with the humor. I had a good time with how fast paced it was. So just like, you know, as an average moviegoer, I can definitely recommend Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage. Like I said, it could have benefited from an R rating just to give it just another notch up so that the critics wouldn't be so in their thoughts about the movie. So yeah, and also too, that mid-credit scene is worth the price of admission. It has huge implications. It's pretty dope, and yeah, so you definitely want to check in on that. So yes, I say go see Venom Let There Be Carnage in the movie theaters, and let me know, because the action was great. The action was cool. It could have used a couple more action scenes, but I give it 3 out of 5 stars for the entertainment value. Enough. So if that is all, that is my review of Venom Let There Be Carnage. Let me know what you thought about Venom 1. Let me know about Venom 2. To me, I'm a fan of Venom 2 better than 1, because it actually took the elements of 1 and took it up a notch, and that made me a happy camper. The action was, you could see it better. That made me a happy camper. So 2 is more superior to 1 in my opinion. Let me know which one did you like down below in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and you make sure you come to the next video. All right, bye. Make sure you share it too. Share.